You overslept, my brother said. We called you like crazy. I checked, no calls. Then my cousin accidentally sent a video. Everyone clinking glasses and Seychelles, captioned, "We finally ditched him." I just commented, "Thanks for the confirmation." That night, I canceled the $29,800 villa reservation booked under my card. 2 days later, I got a voicemail. They took Dad. I didn't respond. I was already on my way. With something they forgot existed. You overslept, my brother said. That's all he said when I called him back, groggy, confused, sun bleeding in through half-closed blinds. We called you like crazy, he added, sounding annoyed. Maybe if you didn't sleep like the dead, you'd be here. I checked my phone. No missed calls. No texts. No voicemails. Just silence. The kind that weighs heavy after betrayal. I opened WhatsApp to check the group chat, the one called Family Forever. It was muted, as usual. Not because I didn't care, but because I learned that 99% of it was inside jokes I wasn't part of. That's when the video popped up. From my cousin, Ava. Probably meant to send it to her private story. Probably didn't realize I could still see it. Everyone was there. My brother. My sister. My cousins. Mom. Even Dad sitting in the back, in his beach shirt, holding up a glass like he actually wanted to be there. They were clinking champagne flutes in a massive seaside villa, white walls, turquoise water in the distance. A luxury dream. The caption? We finally ditched him #FamilyVacay #freedom. I just stared at it. Rewatched it. There was laughter in the background. Someone said, "Can't believe we pulled it off." Another answered, "He'll be fine. He always bounces back." I commented one thing under the post. Thanks for the confirmation. Then I closed my phone and smiled. Not a bitter smile. Not even sad. Just final. They thought they were clever. That I'd oversleep and miss the flight. That they could cut me out without confronting me. That I'd just shrug and maybe eventually send them money like always. But here's the thing. The villa reservation? The one they were sipping champagne in? It was under my name. My card. $29,800 for 10 days. Private chef. Butler. Infinity pool. Paid in full, non-refundable, unless canceled 24 hours before arrival. So I did what any invisible brother would do. I canceled it. At 11:42 p.m., just as they were raising another toast. And I watched quietly as the lights in their paradise began to flicker out. 2 days later, I got a voicemail. From my sister. Her voice shaking. They took Dad. I don't know what to do. Please. Call me. I didn't respond. I was already on my way. And I wasn't coming alone. I was bringing something they forgot existed. Me, when I'm done playing nice. It started small. Always does. The family chat I'd been in since 2017, Fam First, got renamed. One morning it was gone from my phone. Just vanished like a ghost. At first, I thought I'd been removed by accident. So I texted my brother. Hey, what happened to the group? He replied, one word. Oh, new thread. I asked if I could be added. Nothing. No reply. 2 days later, my sister posted a story with the new group name in the background, the core spiral shell airplane. Everyone was in it. Except me. I messaged again. You guys planning something? She replied after a day. Just a small thing. Didn't think you'd want to come. You're always busy anyway. You're always busy anyway. That phrase repeated like static in my head. I hadn't missed a birthday in years. I was the one who organized the last reunion. I paid for half of it. I even booked their flights. But that didn't matter now. I started noticing the pattern. I wasn't just excluded. I was being erased. Like how, in a Facebook post from my mom's birthday dinner, my brother wrote, "So grateful for how Dad took care of everything this year. What a rock." I stared at that line. Because it was me who paid for Mom's surgery last spring. I even coordinated the home nurse. Or how my sister posted a picture of her graduation with the caption, "Couldn't have done it without Mom and Dad's support." Funny. Because I covered her tuition. Quietly. Without asking for anything. It didn't stop there. Once, I called Dad on a Sunday. I just wired him $4,500 for dental work the week before. He picked up and said, annoyed, "You always call at the worst time." I asked if he got the transfer. He grunted. "You know I'm not a charity case. I could have handled it myself." "Then why did you ask?" He hung up before I could answer. I stopped calling after that. What really broke something in me, though, was what happened 2 weeks before the trip. I'd asked my boss if I could take a few days off. He looked at me oddly and said, "Didn't you just say you couldn't take vacation? Your sister emailed last week. Said you're covering a critical deployment." I blinked. My sister emailed? He turned his screen around and showed me the message. It was from her personal Gmail, signed with my full name. It said I'd volunteered to stay back and support from the back end. Said I was happy to let the others go without me. I laughed. Out loud. But not because it was funny. It was precise. Cold. Calculated. She didn't just lie. She preemptively removed me from their plans and made it look like my idea. That's when the memory hit. When I asked if they were doing anything, she said, "Oh, you said you were busy, so we assumed." They didn't assume. They ensured it. The final blow came from Ava, my cousin. She meant to forward something to the core. Send it to me instead. A screenshot of their private messenger chat. A group photo of them at the airport, grinning. Matching luggage. Mom holding up a boarding pass with my name scratched out. The caption? "We finally ditched him." One of the replies, "I'll never forget it," came from my brother. "He's dead weight. All he has is money. No fun. No vibe." That was it. Not, "He's family." Not, "He's been through a lot." Not even, "Let's be decent." Just a line that summed it all up. I wasn't a person to them anymore. I was a function. An ATM. A fallback plan. A walking spreadsheet. And the one time I didn't answer fast enough, didn't wire cash, didn't book flights, they decided I was disposable. That they could cut me out, smile about it, and toast champagne in the Seychelles like I never existed. But I did exist. And I was done pretending otherwise. I arrived just before sunset. The villa was impossible to miss. White stone, glass doors, tucked into a cliffside like a secret whisper to the sea. I walked up the curved driveway, past rented jeeps and expensive sandals scattered across the patio. I didn't knock. I just opened the gate and stepped into their private paradise. Laughter spilled from the pool area. Champagne bottles clinked. A Bluetooth speaker was playing soft beach jazz. They didn't even see me at first, too busy raising glasses under gold light strung like spider webs. Then my mother turned. Her smile froze. "Oh," she said, setting down her drink. "You're here." My brother nearly dropped his phone. My sister? She looked like she'd seen the ocean rise up to swallow her whole. "What is that?" she started, but I cut her off. "Don't stop the party," I said, calm. "I brought a presentation." They stared as I walked to the poolside TV, a massive flat screen mounted under the pergola. I pulled a flash drive from my pocket and plugged it into the port. The screen flickered, then lit up. Slide 1. A screenshot of the family group chat. "We finally ditched him #freedom, with my name blurred out. Except this time, I'd unblurred it. Slide 2. An audio clip autoplayed, my brother's voice. "He's dead weight. All he has is money. No fun. No vibe." Murmurs started. One of the cousins gasped. Someone muttered, "What is this?" Slide 3. My bank statement. Blown up in 4K. $2,800 catering. $4,000 yacht deposit. $6,200 villa deposit. All under my card. All after I was accidentally excluded. I turned to face them. "You thought I wouldn't check? You thought I'd sleep through it, like a fool, while you drank champagne and toasted to being rid of me." Sister stepped forward, stammering. "This is insane." "No," I cut her off. "You know what's insane? Using my money to fund the celebration of cutting me out." One of my cousins, Theo, the quiet one, looked at the screen, then at me. "Wait," he said slowly. "You paid for the villa?" I nodded. "And everything else." He turned to the rest of them. I didn't know it was his card. "That's insane." My mother tried to recover. "Honey, this isn't how you do things. If you were hurt, you should have called. We were going to talk to you after." "After I paid for your 10th cocktail?" I snapped. "After I funded your fake family getaway?" My dad was silent, staring, his mouth drawn in a straight line. He didn't say a word, but my sister did. "You're ruining everything," she shrieked. "You always make it about you. You could have just let us have this one thing." "This one thing?" I laughed bitterly. "You mean the vacation built on my credit, my silence, and your lies?" Silence. Then I took the remote. Paused the slideshow. Let the screen rest on the receipts. The truth. "I canceled the villa this morning," I said flatly. "The payment was reversed at 9:02 a.m. Your stay-ins tonight." Gasps. Shouts. "What? You can't. They'll kick us out." I turned, looked each of them in the eye. "You wanted freedom from me?" I stepped back, heading toward the exit. Enjoy it. Tonight, you sleep on it. Then I walked out. Not a single person followed. And behind me, paradise began to collapse, one entitled shriek at a time. After I walked out of the villa, silence didn't follow me. It exploded behind me. At 9:12 p.m., I got the confirmation email. Your cancellation has been processed. All services suspended. That meant the chef, the butler, the Wi-Fi, the airport transfers, even the power and water, all included in the luxury package they hadn't read the terms for. They were halfway through a midnight charcuterie board when the lights went out. Someone screamed. Then the AC died. The music stopped. The champagne fridge buzzed and went still. I later found out that Mom called the concierge, slurring into the phone. There's been some mistake. We're still staying here. My son just had an episode, that's all. He replied. Ma'am, the reservation was made in his name. He canceled it. We've given you 1 hour to vacate. She cried. Of course she did. My sister screamed at the staff, called them thieves. My brother offered a deal if they just let them stay until morning. One of the cousins tried to bribe a driver. No one cared. By 11:30 p.m., they were standing in the driveway, barefoot, bleary, defeated, dragging designer suitcases across gravel. Ava, the same cousin who sent that "we finally ditched him" post, tweeted at 1:07 a.m. Power went out. Villa kicked us out. Whole family's unraveling. Karma's real. She didn't tag me. She didn't need to. 2 days later, they landed back home. Not first class. Not even business. Economy. 1 row from the bathroom. No upgrades. My sister lost her luggage connection in Paris. My mother threw up on the second flight. My dad drank straight from a duty-free vodka bottle in silence. Their bank cards kept failing, one after another. I'd locked every shared account, froze every backup payment method, reversed everything I could legally touch, and I touched it all. When they finally stepped through the door of their house, there was no power, no gas, no groceries. The fridge beeped empty. The Wi-Fi router blinked like a dead heartbeat. A single yellow post-it note waited on the door. Just 5 words. Not my problem. Not anymore. They didn't try to call. At first. But I knew the panic would build. And it did. My mom posted on Facebook 2 days later. They framed it as mental illness. I call it finally setting boundaries. He's always struggled in silence. We tried to help. The post had a stock photo of a crying man and got 42 sympathy reacts in 3 hours. My sister uploaded a reel, mascara smudged, sad music playing. She said, sometimes the strongest people fall the hardest. We still love him, but we're scared. My inbox exploded. Old classmates, distant aunts, even my ex. Hey, I saw what your sister posted. You okay? Did you really cancel the whole trip? I always knew your family treated you weird. I didn't reply. I opened my notes app instead, and I started writing. 3 days later, I posted it. On Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Reddit, everywhere. The post was titled, "Here's how I paid to be erased." I attached everything. Screenshots of the "we finally ditched him" messages. Voice memo of my brother. He's just money with a name. Screenshots from my bank. Proof of my sister emailing my boss to block my vacation. A screen recording of my card being used to pay for their yacht while I was asleep. And then, one photo. Just one. The last one I ever took at the villa. Them, smiling, drunk, arms around each other, while I stood in the background, blurred and cropped. My caption. This was the last photo I took before I hit cancel. They never saw me then. They see me now. It went viral in hours. Over 12,000 shares. 3.8 million views on TikTok. News outlets reached out. Podcasts met me. People I'd never met commented. You're not alone. My sister did this to me. Thank you for showing what family can really mean. Not dead weight, dead real. Following. Supporting. Standing with you. I didn't answer a single message from my family. But they kept trying. 94 unread messages. Some angry. Some apologetic. Some manipulative. Let's just talk. You're taking it too far. Dad might have a heart attack from the stress. Funny. He didn't seem so fragile with that vodka in Seychelles. I blocked every number. Every account. Every backup. Then I did what they never expected. I built something out of it. I launched a podcast. Title, Bank of Silence. Tagline, when the money talks, and so do we. First episode. EP 1, The price of being the quiet one. By week 2, I had 60K followers. By week 3, sponsors. By month 2, a publishing offer. People sent in stories. Survivors. Siblings. Ex-children of narcissists. Burnt-out breadwinners who were told, "You're the strong one," until they broke. I moved cities. New number. New bank. New circle. My life got smaller. And better. Then, one night, I got an email from my sister. Subject line. Please. The message. I don't know who we became. I don't know why we did what we did. Please. Just answer. One line. Anything. I stared at the screen. Then I opened my old screenshots folder. I attached one image. The very first post she ever made on that trip. We finally ditched him. And I hit send. No words. No reply. Just that. She gave me the punchline. I made sure she got to live with it. Some mornings hit different. This one did. No buzzing phone. No calendar invites. No ping from a family group chat I didn't belong in. Just sunlight, the bitter smell of black coffee, and my own breathing unbothered. I stood in the kitchen of my new apartment. A place I bought cash. Clean. White walls. No memories. The view? A city skyline that didn't know my name. And for once, I like that. I used to think I was the glue. That if I left, everything would fall apart. Turns out, I wasn't glue. I was tape. Temporary. Disposable. Ripped off when no longer needed. They never valued me, they used me. Not because I was weak, but because I was quiet. Efficient. Convenient. The human version of a standing order. And the worst part? I let them. I said yes when I meant no. I paid when I was in debt. I smiled when I was breaking. And every time I stayed silent. I taught them how to treat me. That was my part in the story. But no more. They don't know my new address. They don't have my new number. And if they try to reach me, they'll get a wall made of receipts and silence. Last week, I got a message from a distant cousin. Aunt Linda had a fall. She wants to hear your voice. Nice. But Aunt Linda also called me a selfish little calculator in that group chat when I canceled the villa. So, I took a screenshot of that exact line from the chat, printed it, wrote one line below it. This is the voice she gave me. Then I mailed it back, certified. I also archived every shared file I had with them. Every birthday photo. Every family reunion folder. Gone. Deleted the Google Drive. Cleared my iCloud. Backed nothing up. If it didn't include respect, it wasn't worth saving. Then I logged into Facebook. Changed my bio. From loyal son, proud brother, family always, to former donor, current human. And yes, I sent them something. A final care package. A white box. Inside, a printed copy of the villa cancellation receipt. A cut-in-half Amex card. A framed screenshot of that tweet. We finally ditched him. A check for $52 made out to a trauma recovery foundation, with a sticky note. My last donation, finally where it's needed. Some people want closure through conversation. I got mine through silence. Some want to hear, "I'm sorry." I preferred, "Nothing left to say." I walk lighter now. The guilt? Gone. The anxiety? Silent. The need to fix what I didn't break? Buried. Turns out, I was never the problem. I was just the one paying for it. They say family is forever. But mine expired when love became a contract, and I became the currency. This morning, as I sipped my coffee, I checked my podcast stats. Episode 10, The Price of Being Left Out, 1.3 million downloads. The message inbox is full. From strangers. Survivors. Quiet rebels like me. One said, "You didn't just tell your story. You gave me the strength to end mine. That's enough for me. No anger. No bitterness. Just quiet healing finally." Before leaving my apartment today, I opened Instagram. I posted one image. An empty chair at a dinner table. Captioned, "They finally ditched me, but I got the best seat, alone and at peace." Then I turned off my notifications and left for my first day completely and beautifully unavailable.